am a 27-year-old with a $7 million plus portfolio, having run multiple businesses. I have complete financial freedom, the dream, married to a beautiful wife, girl of my dreams, have 2 puppies, get to do what we want. But I've got stuff going on too. Even business-wise, one of the biggest trips for me is this notion that we make 200 to 300K a year passively, don't have to touch it, and it continues to grow by about as much every single year. The weird thing is, in the past year, I've been real caught up with some weird stuff. Like, I retired for a year and a half, and then I stopped that about beginning of this year officially, because I got really lost in that, and it scared my wife as well, because I just didn't have a sense of direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Well, I knew what I wanted to do, but I wasn't doing it. I was like half in. I love teaching, so when it came to any of my teaching, I just wasn't really doing it fully. I just had a small, loose schedule, and realized that running the businesses fully is something that I really love. So I'm in a very privileged position where I could take that time to do that, to retire, and realize that, oh no, that sucks, like I don't want to do it, and be able to make some content about it, pass on that message to you guys, that it's not all it's chalked up to be for a lot of people. It's more so that I find for most guys, especially if you're younger, it's about finding something that you are fully passionate about and really care about, and building your life around that, whether it's building the financial structures to be able to do as much of that as you want, or making that your primary business. I'm very blessed that I have been able to make what I'm passionate about my primary form of business, and utilize that income and those resources and assets that we've accumulated to build the passive income and the investment portfolio that we have now, and are continuing to grow beyond that. The wild thing is, when you get into a headspace in which you are constantly pushing, sometimes you are forced to confront things about money that you didn't realize that you had, and you don't realize where these thoughts come from until they're happening, and you're tripping out being like, why am I thinking this stuff? I would have conversations with people where they'd be telling me, oh, I earn 1,000 a week, or I earn 1,300 a week, or 2,000 a week, and that's fantastic. So much respect for that. And I found myself being like, oh, that'd be nice, like, I want to make that much. Because I wasn't actively doing anything myself, I had this weird thing where I couldn't identify that passively that was built. But this feeds into something else as well. I had this hang up about, I have to be working really hard in order to deserve this, and it was basically not mine. In my mind, I had to discard it and be like, I'm digging through the trenches, I'm starting from zero, and I kept discarding any of the resources that I have, burning stuff down just so I could feel a sense of accomplishment of like, I started from zero, I started from scratch. When in actuality, you never start from zero, you're never doing it all alone. Everything that I've built has been with my wife, off the back of what my parents provided for me, living in Australia, in a society that provides for me so wholly and fully, and provides me so many opportunities with the internet, all these things. So no man does it alone. But it's this hang up that we tend to fall into of, I've got to do it because that gives me a sense of pride and I'm providing for my family, when in actuality, ultimately, God provides for us all. And just wanted to express some of that, and how that can be a little bit of a head mess. It can really trip you out, and when you're broke mentally, sometimes, because I've gone through that, even when you've done big things or significant things financially, if you're broke mentally, you tend to be trapped in a prison of your own mind. And I know that the guys that I love speaking to in terms of this understand, like they understand what it's like to be on this path and to be dedicated to constantly improving, becoming more. But it's a fine line to walk, in which you are constantly striving for more, but also not disregarding what you've done before, and not being unnecessarily harsh on yourself, which I know, especially myself at least, and I do find this to be the case for most other men, it's the default is to be really hard on yourself because you are afraid of getting soft without that. And it's just when you're in that constant improvement as well, you tend to experience the discomfort and the pain of growing, because there is pain and struggle associated with growing, and we can make that mean something more about ourselves. We can make it mean, or we can tell ourselves that we are less than as a result of that, going through that struggle and that pain. But I'm here to tell you that, like, whatever level you're at, from what I've heard from people doing way more, and from what I've seen from coming from where we were and building it all up from scratch, the pain doesn't go away, but it's a different kind of pain that comes with that growth. So there are a few things that go on there. Hopefully you can take something from some of the lessons in me being able to share as openly as possible. It's something I'm working on doing, is putting myself out there and not trying to come across as infallible, like, oh, I've got it all figured out. I've done some stuff. I honestly feel like I just fell into it. I know that's not the case because I set the intentions from the get-go to create this life. But sometimes there are just things that come up and exist in your head, and I want to be open, vulnerable, honest about these things, because I think it's really important to be able to share that. And for anyone that's not there and is pushing towards building this kind of life, to see the human side of it as well, because if you can be more aware of that from the start and start to develop that at whatever stage that you're at, it will mean that as you grow more, there's less of a burden from these things, because money is an amplifier. So if you are feeling some of the ways that I have felt in the past, or if you're feeling like a big lack and sense of scarcity and disparity, more money is actually going to make that worse. It will make you feel more insecure. It will make you feel more of a lack. I've found that to be the case. We know billionaires that are so scared of losing it all because it was built upon that. And because it hasn't been worked on yet, there's so much more to lose for him. It's not just, oh, I could lose. It's not like he looks at it as, oh, I've got all of this, all these billions. It's, I could lose all these billions. And it is a big torment of the mind to be trapped in that scenario. So if this can help anyone at any stage of their journey, even people ahead might have something to add on here. People ahead's a funny term because it's everyone being on their own path. But hope it can help. This is all the art of being man. Embody that and it'll be a great baby. Love you guys.